Here's what I'm currently practicing, and here is what I recently learned. So, wow. I recently learned Surya Kriya. I think I mentioned it somewhere in an earlier video, but I like it a lot. Number one, because it's not as long as Angamarana, and that was hard to implement in what I was already trying to consistently practice. And it's shorter, and the benefits that I notice, I enjoy more. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. It's shorter, and I enjoy the benefits more. I'm probably gonna make a bigger, more in-depth review of Surya Kriya in the future. But the main two things is my body feels stronger, but not in, it feels stronger in a different way. In the past, I would do a little bit of weights, but I don't do weights anymore, but now I do Surya Kriya, and I notice that it's like, I could be butchering the names here, but it's like my skeletal muscles are stronger and more responsive to whatever actions I give them to do. Like, it doesn't feel like I can carry heavier things. It feels like my body is more receptive to carrying heavier things. Not that it can, but it's more responsive to it. And oof, saying that out loud, it doesn't make any sense, but I'm getting stronger. That's all that matters. Stronger in a different way. Stronger in a way that matters to me. And it's shorter, and I can consistently do it. My breathing is so much deeper and smoother than it was before. Like even after like a good sprint or like a brisk walk, I'll say, my breathing is like consistently smooth and consistently deep, not shallow, but like cooling. Like I could be like running and I feel hot, but my breathing still feels cool and smooth and thorough. And also, I noticed that, at least for me personally, I can sense when a compulsion is coming on. And I noticed ever since I picked up Surya Kriya, when compulsions are coming, like, it's minute, but I can just tell. My breathing becomes shallower and shallower, like I can see my breath becoming like shorter and shorter. But with Surya Kriya, it's like my breath becomes like more, the cycle of my breath takes more time. It's deeper, like I said. And I think Sadhguru talks about this, but there are like cycles you go through, and the shorter the cycles, the more frequent you do your compulsions. But the longer the cycles, the less frequent your compulsions become. And this has become an actual experience for me, because I notice the deeper my breathing, the less compulsive I am. And I'm definitely going to continue Surya Kriya because I like the way I feel. For cycles, this is also something bizarre. I've also said this already. Ever since I did like any Isha practice, but especially ever since like Shambhali, very bizarre, like small things have been happening. They're all nice things, but they're very bizarre to experience them for the first time. I'm referring to seeing a cycle repeat itself over and over, and being in the cycle but realizing it's a cycle at the same time. It's so strange. Like I can notice something has already repeated itself, and I can distinctly remember the situation where it already repeated itself, and I'm in it. Like, the same thing happens over and over, and I know what's happening. And like, the same thing happens for the same reasons. The same emotions are involved, and the same things play out. And I can see it play out again and again and again. And it's like strange. Like, how did I never notice this before? This has been happening for like years, months, and I just never noticed until recently. I wasn't aware of this thing until I looked deeper inward, I guess. Like, and it's not one situation. It's like, it started with one situation I could clearly see, like, repeating itself. Then it became two. Then it jumped to like 6 distinct cycles. I notice I'm repeating. And I know they're repeating as I'm living because I see myself in the situation. The same thing keeps happening, but it's just ever so slightly different that I can notice that the same thing's happening, but it's slightly different enough that I can call it new, but I can still recognize it's the exact same thing. And it's bizarre. It's like, I'm glad I noticed it now, but it's just strange. It's just strange. And I plan to break the cycles with more sadhana, more training. In terms of sadhana, I actually started. I'm not. Well, picture. So, I started doing. I don't know what it's called. Flower sadhana, where like you have a lamps that I mentioned in earlier videos. I got a new one. It's called like Linga something. I'm butchering. Linga GOT, I think, but that's probably wrong. And there's a sadhana in inner engineering where you get like a grain of anything, you draw 2 triangles, and I'm not sure if this has any significance to it, but I believe the symbol is like the symbol of Judas. I think it's like 2 triangles inside of each other, and I think one triangle represents the masculine and the other triangle represents the feminine. So like you draw like the Star of Judas with the grains, and then you get a bowl full of water, and then you put a flower in that bowl, and then you put a lamp inside the bowl full of water, and then you light the lamp. Very convoluted. So you have the lamp, the fire element, you have the grains, the earth element, the star, then you have the bowl of water, the water element, and then since air is always present and a cache or space is always present, it's like you have all 5 elements in one place. And I started doing this, and I noticed it has a very distinct difference in the intensity of my practices and how I just feel being in the rooms. And specifically, I noticed this one day, and it's kind of hard to replicate and continue doing, but the more flowers I offer and the fresher the flowers, the more energy I can notice in my body. And this is, I also may be butchering this too, but I saw some Sadhguru video where he mentions that fire is used as like a medium to connect with energies. Oh, I'm butchering it, but it doesn't matter if I'm butchering it. In my experience, it's something's happening in my experience, and that's all that matters. So the more flowers I offer to that lamp, it's like the more intense the experience. And I'm repeating what I'm saying, but more flowers is better. Yeah, that's it. And a long time ago, I think I said I was gonna do like a food episode. I never made it, but I have a good reason for it. I have been collecting pictures of roughly my diet over time. I'm talking 50% cooked food, 50% raw food. I'm talking sprouts, fruits, dried fruits. I'm talking lentils, red lentils, green lentils, black lentils, white rice, brown rice, red rice, black rice. I'm eating well. That's I don't know where I was going with that, but here's an array of things I have eaten over time, and this would have been a lot more relevant probably like a year ago, but I have gotten a lot better at incorporating raw foods into my diet, specifically raw peanuts that have been soaked overnight for 8 hours. It's probably my favorite raw food because it's very filling and I like the taste of it. It's very nice. At first I was a roasted peanut addict. That was the only thing I liked. But now I'm a raw soaked peanut kind of guy. They're quite nice. Hi, it's me from the future. So the old parts of the video are scrapped and I'll just talk to you right now. I'm trying to lower my sleep quota. That's the mission. If I can do that, I can learn the next practice that I want to learn. Either Shunya, which will replace Isha Kriya, or Yogasanas. The problem is, both of those are an hour long, and I'm kind of having trouble doing all of my practices and then have room for something else. So I'm trying to lower the amount of sleep I need so I can do more practices so that I can stop being a compulsive degenerate. So the plan is I'm gonna get the Bond of Grace Yantra. What is the Bond of Grace Yantra? Well, essentially there's this program, Ishanga 7%, where you give a certain amount of your earnings to Isha, and then you get a certain yantra that can help you be more receptive to grace. In the old video, I said the only problem with that is I don't know when that will be available. But surprise, surprise, it's October 1st, and the Bond of Grace ceremony will be available October 30th online. So, I'm waiting for that right now. I've already registered for it. And on top of that, there are like 4 things I'm doing in October. Inner engineering completion for the second time. It's awesome. I love it. I really need to correct all the stuff I did. Surya Kriya corrections. And then Ananda Alai program. Yeah, I'm saying it right. That's October. And then there's another thing that I might have to cut this part out. But there's like 4 things happening in October. All of it is aimed to refine our practices and lower my sleep quota. And we'll see what happens from there. I don't think I missed anything. Yeah, that's it. This is usually the part where I say something very wise, or I think is wise. But you know, this time I'm kind of, you know, sometimes you just don't have anything to say, so it just kind of cuts out and it's not really fun. This isn't related at all, but I played this game, Chapter 2 of Deltarune, and it was so good, and I had to wait like 3 years to play it, and oh, chef's kiss. I wish I could wipe my memory and play it again because of how good it was, and that Toby Fox guy knows what he's doing. Oh, um. I don't know why you're still here. That's it. Bye.